be going.
Oh,
It might be going. It might be going. We might be live. I'm not sure, Andrew. We might be live.
it
Hopefully
says
we are.
live.
If so, it's Gommo and Andrew here from Whole World Fanatics. Very impromptu. Did not tell anyone we were doing this. I didn't even tell
Yeah,
Andrew we were doing this until I said, "Do you want to catch up quickly?"
yeah,
So I'm assuming we're live. I don't know if anyone's going to watch it, but they'll watch later if that's the case.
yes.
But yeah, we wanted to catch up quickly. It was sort of a spur of the moment thing because had some exciting stuff happen yesterday in the old world space, at
Huge.
least in Australia. Yeah, we
Mm,
launched what's called oldworldrankings.com, which is basically a master's ranking system of tournaments for Australia, but it is technically not for Australia. It can handle other regions and all that, but we're obviously, trialing it out on our region. And as a result, I got involved with ASB and Starkey, who are pretty big in the tournament scene and the history
mm,
of masters and all that. And kicked off another channel just to do some monthly catch-ups around tournaments and stuff. But at the same time, we were struggling to find something outside of Excel. And so I've, put the paintbrushes down for a couple of weeks and we
yeah,
smashed this out, which I want to show you guys, but also just, promote it on our channel and hopefully people can jump over and subscribe to the other channel as well, which obviously we'll talk through. But
mm,
we thought rather than just do a video and have to like process it and upload it again, I went, why don't we just
go
click
live.
live? So if people are out there, maybe I should even tell the patrons that maybe they can tell us if we are live or not. And actually, Andrew, it's under the comments section if you want to know over on the right, although I don't think there's any yet, but that's all cool
Oh, yeah,
because no
yep.
one knew we
I
were
see
doing
it.
it.
Yep.
Because I'm going to bring my screen up, man. And obviously you knew about this and I started plugging away at it. But for those who haven't seen it, or because obviously it's just, well, it only came out yesterday. It's basically a place where we're going to track all the tournaments at least in our region at the moment, so Australia. Upcoming tournaments, the ones that are finished. And then obviously we've got a sort of a ranking algorithm that very similar, if not exact, to the old Warhammer 7th and 8th edition Masters in Australia, how they tracked stuff, which then comes, every year you can then, come up with a group of 16 or in this case 20 masters and have a
Yep.
masters event and have and crown who's the champion of old world. That's what we're hoping, at least for 2025.
Yeah.
And to
What
do
did you
that,
say the
rather,
dates were? So it's going to be inclusive of 24, and you haven't come up.
yeah. So
Have
the
you done what?
important thing, yeah, and if you're, if you're in Australia, obviously, and you just saw this, and you're wanting to know, yeah, when is it? What's the dates? How does it even work? We'll run through this a bit. It's actually not fully decided yet. What we've done in the platform here, so there's data, is tracking every game that's basically played
Yep.
in 2024 and currently right through the end of 2025. Now, that's
Okay.
not going to probably stay that way, but this is not a boys' club. It's not myself or ASB or anyone else going, this is what we're doing. It's just got a platform out there, got some data in there, and we're going to start getting people involved. I probably put some
Yeah.
votes up here on the side of what dates they want to see. Do they want to be, does it want to culminate at CanCon? Does it want to, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Awesome.
And just see it and really let it be run by the community. So before I jump through what we've got here, there is another channel called Old World of Oz. The branding might change, and obviously we'll link it from this video. But episode 1 was up last night, which is just, ASB introducing, the Masters concept and things like that. And obviously we ran through the product there a little bit of what we're going to use. But yeah, it's pretty exciting because I think it's something that's been a little bit missed. Everyone's been using spreadsheets and different tournament software, and this sort of
Yeah.
aggregates a lot of that stuff. Fairly automated, or how do you say that? Fairly automatically. So, if you're a tournament organizer or you're another region, like you're in the US, you're in the UK, and you run, you want to run, you're running masters or something similar, this platform sort of can connect to those, BCP, new recruit, and sort of drag that in, Excel, and you can manually enter data as well. So keeps it all pretty neat.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
That video was pretty good that you ASB and Starkey put together. So yeah, I'd highly recommend the guys, like if you're watching this, jump over and watch that as well. that's
Yeah.
also a really good introduction to obviously you three yourselves and the backgrounds.
Yeah, I've never met Starkey. Obviously, he's run a lot of cool tournaments out of his place up 3 hours north of Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. But man, he looks like he's got the ultimate setup there. I love just the rows of mostly painted Warhammer Fantasy. I said to him, "Is that got from 40K or something in there?" Just because it's so much. He was like, "No, it's all fantasy." Actually, he said it's all Warhammer, and I thought that's the right person, the real Warhammer. Yeah. You don't need to put any other word on it. So, yeah, that's right. So basically, I mean, so everything we'll run through what we've got so far, and I'll probably, we can, Andrew ask questions or whatever, because obviously it's new, it's got some rough edges, doesn't have everything yet. But that's partly what I like to do, just get it out there and get people using it and jump on it and stuff. So like, probably the first thing, and it's the boring screen, is the tournaments. And this is getting a bit of an overhaul to have locations, so you'll be able to see what state and city they're in and search. So that way you can sort of go, well, what's around me. That's obviously the goal of this page, but at the moment it's more of a, gigantic list. If you go and pick a tournament, something like the Birthday Slaughter that just happened at Starkey's house, you can see all the players, what factions they took, what their scores were, and what achievements. So in this case, like best sports looked like it was Aaron Holland, and best painting was Jay Bradhauer on that, and wooden spoon down here was Grant. Captain Grunt, by the look of it, got wooden spoon. But obviously you get first, second, and third placings as well. And that might be what we could probably delve into in a minute, is the whole ranking points, which is a sort of a calculated points, which I'll talk about a little bit more. But basically what you're trying to do is get your best ranking points over the season in order to qualify for the Masters event. So to qualify, obviously...
Can you pull their list up from...
No, not at the moment. Tournament? Well, it's not at all. So this is not a tournament platform at the moment. Maybe it will be down the track. Who knows? So we're still assuming people are running, obviously, manually or BCP or new recruit. To make it a little easier, there is links. So like, for example, Old Grudges 6 has best coast pairings. If the lists are available, you can see them, because you need licenses to list some of the lists on that. But, that's for the TO to decide how they want to run that. But ultimately, I think at some point it would make sense that we're, able to host lists as well, at least in text format. But not at the moment. It's more just, it's almost post-tournament. The tournament's run. Make sure it's up here in terms of people know it's here. But then after it's run, then make sure the data gets is synced in.
Currently, just rankings from the tournament results. Is the main focus.
And the goal too, just so everyone knows, is it's really what I'm after is people to take ownership through groups and stuff of regions. So obviously we're doing that with Australia. And when I say ownership, just people to wrangle the cats, so to speak. And those people have full permissions to be able to manage these things. Like, it's not up to me or whoever. You don't have to ask people. Once you get access to a region administration, you can sort of, you can set the rules, the scoring, how that sort of is going to work, your seasons, and things like that. That's the whole idea. So you can run, you can run your region, whatever that means. Is that a country? Is that a state? It's up to you. To sort of track your own community's progress. So, was that the main question with tournaments? Probably. I will just say, and again, some of this stuff is pretty early days, but as we track people, like actually I'll go to this one. They get a player profile as well, which will expand out over time. But basically at the moment it's showing the achievements they've had. So Ben Cray here is doing really well with Warriors, 6 tournaments, 1 winner, 2 runners up. Technically he's in running for the Masters up there, so I need to bring that info in. You can follow them once you're able to register properly. Right now you don't have to register to see the platform, and you never will have to, but at some point I'd like people to register and join their player, so that way they've got control of that player and they can follow each other and stuff like that. And you can see all the tournaments and what he's won and sort of that type of stuff. I'd really love it to be able to have galleries on here as well and things, and like showcase your army and whatever. Like in our case, man, like having links to our battle reports for a game, also just to show off your player. And then I'm going to make it a lot easier to share on socials, which give you cool snapshots of what achievements you've got in that season and stuff. So should be pretty fun, hopefully. It's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and then this is basically the culmination of all that is the rankings table. So we probably want to talk a little bit about Australia's doing it or proposing to do it. So because I don't want people to think we're setting the rules down specifically. A lot of this is configurable at the region level. So in this case, Australia. Basically, we're using this ranking point system. So basically, the easy way to think about it is you play as many games you want, but you only get the top 3 results. So each of your tournaments that you play in you'll get a rank number based on some criteria, which we'll go into. And then the top 3 of them count, and then that's your score for the year. And then obviously the top 20 of those scores are the best players. Different tournaments get a max. So, and that ranking is like, say if you come first in a tournament, technically it's 100 points, but it's scaled based on a certain number of things. So if it's only 3 rounds, it's actually scaled down to a max of 80 points because we're basically trying to say that 5 or more round tournaments are worth more. So a 1 day, 3 round tournaments only ever max going to be 80. But it starts off with at least 10 people as well need to be at the tournament. And then it sort of scales up from there. So at like a 15-player tournament, 3-dayer, might be able to get a little bit more. I think it starts at, can't remember, it maxes out at 80, but it starts at like 60 or whatever, and it goes up. So the more people, the better, and the more rounds, the better. And obviously, if you get to, I think it's capped at 100 points and 100 players over a 5-round will give you that maximum possible 100 points out of one tournament, basically. So if you've won 3 of them, you've got a perfect 300, like in bowling, that type of thing.
Yeah. So is there additional bonuses? So obviously looking at mine, like I said, I had like 90 odd points. Is that bonuses because there's more people who attend?
Yeah. So in one of your ones, you mean, because it was Moab?
Yeah.
So, sorry, it might be based off, it's probably capped. It's probably above 30 players it starts sort of capping. But what was I going to say? So in your case, there was how many at Moab?
30. I think we had over like 33 or something like that.
Yeah. So it's above the 30 player limit and it's a 5-rounder. So it's basically capped, like the person who wins that will get 100. And so because there's 30, it's sort of, you can get in the 90s pretty easy if you're in the top sort of 5 or 6 placings. Easy. Yeah. But if that tournament was only 3 days, it probably would have been a lower value. We do have some questions, guys. Evening, lads. Alan Joyce said evening. Graham T said morning. It's actually night over here, but I love that. Graham. Oh, you've already said that. You answered, man. You're
I'm hot on the keys.
Awesome, man. Thank you. We're probably getting late in our day, but so it's worth, like, if you do come in here, it's all, as I said, it's just oldworldrankings.com and it'll send you straight here and you can play around. It's on I'll make this a bit visible. Andrew was the one who actually told me to do this, and it's great because everyone's asked how this has worked out, but I will make it a bit more prominent. I'll just say that if you aren't in Australia, or even if you are, again, this is configurable. This is just what we're starting with in terms of a discussion. Under the covers, you could change how many rounds and the rankings and all that sort of stuff. I would imagine at some point different regions would have totally different ways to rank their masters, which is 100% totally fine. So the other thing we've got, obviously, once we've done that, we highlight where the cutoff is. So currently it's 20 players. If this ended today and we ran with this rule, these are the 20 that would make it in, so to speak. And on top of that, we're also tracking all their achievements through the year. So that's not just the 3 tournaments that count, but everything else. So you can see up here, Paddy's won 3 silvers and 1 bronze. And, we're throwing in some fun achievements, like, as I said, halfway hero, wooden spoon. You got a halfway hero, I think, Andrew.
Yeah, I got a halfway hero.
We're going to do other ones, faction leaders. We were thinking too, like, I'd love someone to get this. It's like you win, or like well, say you should get an achievement if you play every race, every faction
Ooh,
once. Once you do
yeah,
that, you get a badge. That probably is more than one season. That'd be
yeah,
funny. The other one might be a really good one if you actually win with each faction. That would be crazy.
yeah,
And then the most traveled player. That'd be funny. The person who does the most
yeah, yeah,
games, like in terms of, we'd have to work that out, but we could. It'd be
yeah.
just little funny things that we want to like let
Oh, it's
people
always good having
hang
those
their
little
hat on.
funny
Yeah,
bonuses. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be cool. So yeah, we'll come up with a lot of them. Regions, the people who run the regions actually can add new. Technically, we haven't done that yet, but it is built that way where you can actually add your own achievements. So if people have
Yeah.
different ways to do things, because there's also like best general or best sports, for example, those type of awards you can
Mm.
just elect to have as an option to give out, and then TOs can give it out on their tournaments, and it just gets tracked here. Just doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's just fun. I think
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
into that.
We are into that. That's awesome.
And then we're obviously pulling in data around that once they win. So we're tracking, the total players, the tournaments,
Analytics. So good.
upcoming tournaments, and then the factions. Currently, these are just the current ones I've got here, but
Yeah.
top factions by appearance. So how many times have we seen that faction in a tournament? And I'm sort of
Yeah.
stolen this off Games Workshop, although haven't done a lower cut here, but it's top factions by win rate.
Yeah.
Where they were saying, again, they're not doing this with Old World, but the other systems,
Mm.
they try and keep it in that 45 to 55. I think it's a bit of a useless chart, but I just want to put something there. I'm also not cutting it down. So Mortuary Cold haven't played a lot of games, but they've won some. And so they're sitting right up here where probably
Yeah.
we'd want to cut off that if Skaven's only played 3 games, maybe don't even put them on there or something like that. You got to,
Yeah.
they need to have played a certain amount, but I haven't got that in there at the moment. These are just fun charts, and there's other ones we could do as well. What we did do though with those ranking points, we also calculate not just your top 3, but what your top scores in the different factions are to give you a faction leader,
That is
first,
really
second, and
good.
third as well.
Yeah.
So you can see here that Mark Boy's currently running Beastman, Angus is winning Empire, and all
Yep.
the way down like that. There's a couple that, and I think I will admit some of the data for the factions, especially the what are they called? Armies of
Yeah.
Infamy are not 100%. So there's some dwarf ones that were probably Expeditionary Force. So there will be some still data manipulation and all that as it goes. But as that happens, it just recalculates and keeps it up pretty accurately. But again, that would be a badge and an achievement that you would end up getting on your profile if you hit faction 1, 2, or 3 on a particular faction, so to speak.
So how's the factions calculated? Is that by a single top score, or is it using
it's basically taking the ranking point that you got in whatever tournament, but against that faction. So you know how you won in Moab the other day with, or not won, but you came fourth or whatever with High Elves.
Yeah.
You would have had a fairly high score for a High Elf player, so to speak, which you did. Here you are here too at 90.6. Now Frank's above you, but he would have played High Elves more than once, which he did. He's played twice. So he's had 2 tournaments. That points is just the tournament point. But if you go into Castle Assault, and then you look for I need to put a search at the top there, but if
so
you
it's the same
Frank,
system as like
it's the same master's point. And again, that we don't need to do that, but I've just done that for this one just so we can choose a number that is equivalent to the other ranking system.
It's fair, yeah. It's definitely fair. Oh, Fred's come back with a question. Sorry, do faction rankings just take your top 3 results also?
Yeah, so basically, no, sorry, they yes, they do. Sorry, they do at the moment. Yes, so they take your top 3 results using those ranking points, but for that faction. Yeah. So if you played 9 games, 3 games each with different factions, you would have 3 chances to place as a faction leader, because all 3 of them would count for each of those factions. But if you played 100 games with one flat faction, only the top 3 would count for your total points there. Again, it's just confused, like it's just what we've thrown together on that one. It's a bit of a weird one. How do you actually?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, how do you actually even say they're faction leaders? Probably need to look at our Games Workshop do it a bit.
I think
dumb question is it only ranking 1 to 3rd placings? Yeah, basically. preferred faction's a great addition too. I wonder. So Graham T, what do you mean by that? Is that just on your profile? You mean like what? Sort of like tagging yourself as mainly like an Orc Goblin Tribes player? I'm guessing maybe is that maybe. Not sure what he totally means there, but it'll be something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get back to us.
Yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else currently we got in there. Not right. I mean, right now, we're, as I said, we're adding in the locations of tournaments and players, so that way you can better, track where people are to each other, as well as obviously where the tournaments are, because that's pretty important. And because there's already 340 or 50 players for Old World logged in here in Australia, so that's pretty good. If you expand this down the track, that number goes up. Currently this is showing Australia, but I will have some aggregated stuff around the world as we get regions on. But then the search up here just allows you to quickly, if I want to find Andrew, I can just go and find Andrews pretty quick. So if you are looking for you yourself, that's probably the easiest way to do it. At the same time, you can also search for like, tournaments, for example, Castle Assault, So it's a bit of a universal search there, just makes it a bit easier to jump around. You can even look for rankings, for example, and jump straight there. So everything's accessible. It's fairly workable on the mobile, but we keep doing work to make sure that it's usable on the mobile, because I think, the reality is 60, 70% of this traffic's coming through mobile. People are in bed wanting to know, geez, they're sleeping and thinking about Old World and want to know where their score is up to, or at the end of the Sunday when another tournament's finished. Shit, did my place go up or down? And that's probably actually another thing we'll do is a little up and down markers here to show how you've moved every week or every month,
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Graham, sorry, came back with saying, the profile. So you can see how a player likes to lean. So like Andy looking to find a player or list or someone you gel with. I'm assuming that's possibly in the works in the background for more personal.
Definitely, like that whole profile section is I'm actually really keen to do a bit of work on that as now the data's coming in, because what I want to do is you'll be able to, you could do this now, but it doesn't do anything. So if you go to Old World, the login buttons are not that prominent because you don't need them really at the moment, but you can still register if you want. You just sign up. I'll have Google and all that soon working as well. But if you want to, there's nothing stopping you coming and sign up. But it won't actually do a whole lot for you because all you've got is, that's all you got at the moment. What I'll do next is you'll be able to then link your registered account on Old World Rankings to the player that is actually you. Obviously, I'm just working out some checks to sort of flag if people are grabbing the wrong person and things like that. But ultimately, that's what I'd like to see people do, register, because then people can follow tournaments or players, get notified of tournaments in their area. Maybe put a chat feature so people can bloody, rip into each other. Maybe we should have a big grudge button on there too. So like, always be grudging. When you're about to do the tournament, you click that grudge button and that tells the TO that I've grudged that player. That's maybe that's what it should be called. Alwaysbegrudging.com. It's not a bad idea, actually. Rebrand.
Trying to get those cheap points. You're like, where's the bottom ranked player? Oh, yeah, I'll grudge that guy.
Or you could even look his scores up and go, he's not good. I'm going to grudge him. No. I shouldn't say that. But so that's, really want to grow out that player profile and make it that when you paste that in, right now it's a bit ugly. It's just its URL, but it'll have nickname. You'll be able to paste it in Facebook or Twitter or whatever if people even use that anymore. And you'll get an actual, what I'm hoping is you'll get a generated like image badge of your current stats and everything. And then over time that'll change. Obviously, as you share it, it'll, those scores will update and stuff. So that'll be pretty cool too.
That's awesome.
Just anything to promote Old World and the community and finding more tournaments, getting more games in. And just having some fun with it. Really, that's how I know it's competitive, and it's like tournaments and masters, but at the end of the day, it's about having fun and just playing more Warhammer. Really.
I think this is huge. Like official rankings, having this put together in Australia, and I'm assuming you're possibly looking into the future to be leaning this system into overseas communities as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll see up here, it's already, see how knuck in a little AU up there? That just means it's
Yeah,
running off the Australian region. If you go and click another region, which I just put here for fun at the moment, say United States, it just
yeah,
doesn't let you in yet. It just says it's still coming. And that's not because of any technical reason. It's just the reality is I don't want to manage, like me and the other guys like ASB, we're not
yeah,
here to
yeah,
manage other regions. We're gonna help facilitate the Australian region to get kicked
yeah.
off, but that's it. So what I'm looking for, if you are out there, is people to talk to in those other regions. If you're keen and you're plugged in
Their
and you know
communities
the
coming
type of,
forward.
there's
Yeah,
always a few, there's always this handful of really good players that have been in there for years that just can run with it to sort of help
yeah,
organize it, and they're the people that should probably take ownership of those regions initially. And
yeah,
also things like United States. I mean, is it even one region? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if that
yeah.
makes sense. So it may split into multiple ones. And so I'm open to all that. And especially for old world,
Mm,
if we can give back a bit there and actually have something that's useful and fun and fast to use, I think it just, promotes everything. I mean, selfishly under the covers, I'll also tell you it's actually not really old world specific. So if this goes well, I am planning on like it will also support other game systems under the
oh,
covers, So I
any
think that'd be
tabletop. It's great.
yeah, any
Yeah,
tabletop games basically, anything that
yeah,
involves ranking and tournaments. But at the end of the day, old world's my baby. It's the one
yeah.
that's going to get the preference of the
The
good
Gommo's
treatment.
heart
Yeah.
lies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. I think, yeah, it's like everyone's saying, like, there's so much, seems like there's excitement coming forward. And I don't think people yet have really grasped how this is going to really, I think it's going to be that main community sort of hub where people are going to go to after they've done their tournaments. They know who's in the tournaments, what ranking people are going to be in the tournaments. Like it's, yeah, I reckon it's,
Well,
yeah, it's
even
going to
now,
be
like even what you just said before, like what Graham said, like, I went to Castle Soul or whatever it is, and
yeah,
you get your next matching up. And yeah, you know the player, but you don't overly know the background.
mm,
But if you can come straight on somewhere, click their name or, you share their whatever,
yeah,
and see their, yeah, like I said, what factions have they been playing, how they've been going.
yeah.
It just gives you a bit of an idea about the player, how
Oh
they've
shit,
been
he's in the
and
top
gets you.
10.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe go, shit, I'm just getting more beer on this round. Yeah,
Yeah,
just push it forward. Sit down, push it forward. Yeah.
yeah,
Shake
yeah,
hands. Yeah. It could be that. I don't know. But yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. That's it pretty much. I don't know what else to say apart from definitely you're welcome to jump on there. You're welcome to register. It's just be prepared that over, hopefully every few days you'll see new things get added. So there'll be things that don't work, but that's deliberate, really. It's just there and it doesn't actually do anything. Like the follow button doesn't do anything at the moment.
Yeah.
Welcome to entrepreneurship and MVP development in 2024. But also jump over to the Old World of Oz channel, which I'll obviously will link off this one. Subscribe over there. We're planning on trying to get another episode out, obviously in the next few weeks, like as November closes out. Where we'll probably do a little bit more real analysis of tournaments. This was a bit of an intro to, what we're trying to build and get a community together. Yep. But, maybe by then we'll have some ideas as, we're getting a lot of comments in now from the Australian side to find out what dates do they want, things like that. Actually, we're discussing tonight whether or not I just build into the system, because I could see this being useful, a small, easy voting system. So if you're a region admin, you can then throw up a little poll that your players can then participate in for the next 2 weeks and give you that feedback, because it's what it's about. Like, we don't want anyone who's like, oh, I'm in charge of the region now, I'm go my way or the highway. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
We want the players, they're playing in it, we want them to enjoy it, so they should have a say in sort of how it's run and how it's scored and all that sort of stuff. So
Was there going to be like a messenger group or something created for Australia or for the regions for communications, or how is
it's a good point. So with the Australian one, at least for now, what I was thinking, we've already got the Australian Discord server for Old World. So I was actually thinking of having, either up in the header here or even in the sidebar, probably in the sidebar, even like join the Discord as well.
Yes,
so that way you can use that in the short term for for messaging. Will we have messaging built into this? Maybe down the track, but
Yep.
you know, I know a lot of us old people are not Discord users, but it just feels like that's where it's gone a little bit. These things,
Yeah.
everyone's using that. So, you know, I know there's active Facebook message groups, but some of those sort of bigger platforms are a bit more, you know, hard to integrate with and stuff. So maybe we just got to suck
Yep.
it up and allow people to run, connect their Discord to their region and make sure people know how to get in contact and chat and stuff.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Were you wanting to allude to, or did you just want to leave that for later? Maybe, you know, where you guys are looking at going, you know, in the next 12 months?
With
Or
the
did you just-
Australian Masters?
Yeah, and obviously the this product as such.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that one, yeah, this will be just something that I think, I mean, that's personally my goal for this would, yeah, outside of the Masters in Australia, like this would be just validating this as something useful for tabletop gaming. And if so, then that might be something that we could offer. I can offer to other systems or and definitely other regions for Old World, but maybe even other game systems. So really the Old World guys are really my feedback on what's useful, what's fun, what's going to work. And if that works, then maybe there's, I'd, you know, I'd love to be able to, you know, have a little side biz hustle over something like this.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
yeah.
almost like playing the game all the time. But, you know, who knows? That's probably looking way too far down the track. But I'm definitely keen to hear people's thoughts on that. And like I said, if you're not in Australia and you want to come on, you know, be a regional sort of administrator, or you've got ideas, or you know who to talk to, I'm all ears. Love to connect. Always after ideas too. There's a little chat down here. You can come on here, just throw ideas or questions or issues or whatever. And you know, I'm pretty responsive on all that stuff. Yeah. Cool, man. That sounds good.
No, I think this is good. I think this is great. I mean, you've got that ability to move into that sort of one-stop shop later on once this is all settled. And I mean,
I've always had a vision of maybe I know I like New Recruit and I like all that stuff too, but I also like fresh, new looking systems and sort of running tournaments and stuff. So, you know, more options are always the better. Will this have the ability to run a tournament down the track? Maybe. But at the moment, it's more of an aggregator. But at the same time, if that's something that people think's needed or they struggle with,
I'm just laughing at Andrew's comment.
I'd go for it.
It's
Tinder for game seekers. I like it. Swipe left or right. Or is that what you do? I don't even know. Thumbs up, down? I don't know.
This is awesome. Yeah, no, this is a great product. I think this platform, it's only early days, and I think there's already so much excitement, and people see the value in this ranking system. And it's only been out for like literally 2 days?
Yeah, well, technically, we recorded last night and said come and join it.
The info's only just come out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's been running in the background as I built it, but it's not. It's sort of like even this, what we're doing now is more of a soft launch, isn't it? It doesn't really have a website or anything. It's just this is the site. It's for our Australian community and hopefully other regions when they come on board. Where it goes from there, you know, I'll let the community decide if they find it value, if they want more features, if they want tournaments run out of it, if they want lists added in there, like view the lists. I mean, they're all things I'd love to do, but you know, the reality is, so when you build anything, you want to build stuff that you know is going to get used. So you need people's feedback. Like I've already got a call with someone from the US tomorrow who wants to jump on and have a chat about it. So, you know, providing it fits around my work schedule and stuff, I've got a calendar to share it. You guys book a call with me, and and Andrew, you've already offered that you're available to help and chat and stuff like that as well. You've got a million ideas, so
anything you need.
Yeah, I'm sure we can make this successful venture in terms of people using it, and it, ultimately, count up how many games Old World have been played. That would be bloody good. Like at least at a organized level.
Organized level. Yeah, no, this is fantastic. It's so good. Just appreciate obviously all the work you've put into it, and obviously Starkey and ASB helping you out as well. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, so many. Obviously, Starkey and ASB's brainchild, this whole thing in terms of the masters and how it all works and the rankings, and
Gommo has just used his expertise in
Yeah,
programming and
I'm not an ideas man. Just tell me what you need.
entrepreneur.
Let's get it done. Yeah.
No, this is great.
Cool. Well, that's our impromptu live stream. I don't know if people, we've got a few people there chatting about that, and hopefully send it to your friends and have a chat to your local group about, what you would want to see and what you think's good or bad about scoring systems. I'd love to hear it. And then, yeah, definitely, like I said, if you're watching this back, jump over to Old World of Oz YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and look out for the next episode, which should be out in the next couple of weeks. As I said, it's just monthly. We're all pretty busy, but if you really need more Old World content, you know where to come. You're already on Old World Fanatics. We're here every Monday, or whatever it is, Wednesday by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
Awesome, Andrew. Thanks for jumping on, man, and last minute. But I just wanted to use our small little mouthpiece to show off what we've been doing, and pretty excited.
Yeah, there's a lot to show off. It's great. I'm loving this.
I don't think I'll see myself up here anytime soon, so I've got to get my face out somehow. Otherwise,
I don't know. Got to get to a few tournaments. You'll be up there.
Yeah, you got to get to tournaments. You got to play. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks a lot for watching. Like, subscribe, check out our Patreon over at patreon.com/oldworldfanatics if you want to jump on that. And always appreciate any support that you guys, the public gives. It's really good. Keep playing and keep rolling dice, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.